Welcome to this video where I'm going to talk about shorter fiction novels. Whether you're in a reading rut or you're in between two bricks, it can be a good thing reading a shorter book. So I thought I'd give you some recommendations. And we're starting off with plays. First one is Jeppe on the Hill. This is a real Scandinavian classic by Ludvig Holberg. It's an old one as well, and yeah, we still debate whether he's Danish or Norwegian, but that doesn't really matter to you. Jeppe is having a lot of issues and he decides he wants to drink the sorrows away, or maybe he feels like that is going to help him. This is one of the references that's important to get if you want to be in with the Scandinavians. So this is a recommendation and it's 70 pages, so it will fly by. So that's the first one, and for those of you that have watched my videos, you know that I have fallen a bit in love with Shakespeare, especially these editions, and Hamlet is of course a huge classic, and I was surprised of how easily read they are, and also very short. This is both like English and Norwegian in one, so this is 200 pages, so maybe the original manuscript is about 100. I found them very entertaining. You have murders and ghosts and everything in between, and what's not to like. One of my current reads is this one. It's On the Calculation of Volume by Solvej Balle. This is about a woman that experiences the same day in and out. This is the third book, but they're all short, and that's why it's on the list. They go by so quickly, and she keeps the tension and the interest in what is this woman going to experience now, where is she going, and where is this all heading. So I do really like it, and in total it's going to be 7 books. If you read the first one and find it interesting, you have a lot to look forward to, and I do actually like how they've split the whole series into a bunch of books instead of having one massive one. That helps, especially if you're in a reading rut, for example. Then for a book that I don't feel like I've spoken enough about lately, it's When We Cease to Understand the World by Benjamin Labatut. He was nominated for the International Booker Prize in 2021. I absolutely loved this book. I think it's 5 tales from the real world where scientists descend into madness, and they're not factually correct, but a lot of the stuff is correct, and then you sort of drift off into the not so factual world, I guess. And it was just so immersive, I would call it. I loved it, and yeah, as I said, it's a long time since I've spoken about it, and I did want to do that, so here we are. And to bridge sort of a gap, we have Hotel Silence, which I've spoken a lot about lately, by Auður Ava Olafsdóttir. This won the Nordic Council Literature Prize, which I've talked about lately, and it's about a guy that wants to end it all, goes to a war-torn country to end it all, or at least maybe he will end it all, or he will just die. He doesn't care, and it's hilarious, sad, and heartwarming, and everything in between. I will give you the names of these books down below so you don't have to stress about it. The next one is Gangsta Granny by David Walliams. This is a children's novel, as you might have guessed based on this cover. I read quite a few of his books a couple of years ago because I thought this was really good, but then it stopped because the other ones weren't all that great. It's about a grandson and his granny. He thinks that she is the most boring person ever, but it turns out she doesn't have to be. And it's also in the heartwarming category, so that's a recommendation. I am looking forward to reading that book for my kids at some point. Then over to a Nobel Prize winner. This is Olga Tokarczuk and Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which I read a couple of years ago. It's about this Polish village where a murder has happened, and this woman is, I can't remember if she's a neighbor, but she's a fascinating human being. The story is really cool, and it's nothing I would have expected from a Nobel Prize for Literature winner. So it's really I don't know, kind of fun, kind of up-tempo, and yeah, just also crime fiction-y, so it's got it all. I have to read more from Olga Tokarczuk someday, but Just hasn't happened yet, but it's going to, I guess. Then for another author I feel like I have to read more books from soon, it's Jón Kalman Stefánsson, Summerlight, and Then Comes the Night. It's about this Icelandic village where we just get to meet the people and like listen to their problems, dreams, hopes, aspirations, all of those kinds of things. It's really beautiful and you feel a lot of compassion with the people, and it's just a way of like getting close with the characters in a book. Just always is a good feeling. I think I have 5 of his books standing in my shelf, and it's beginning to become a little annoying that I haven't read more of his books, but many of them are kind of big, and that has been an issue. Let's just put it that way. Which is probably a part of the reason why I'm making this video. Then for someone that's really popular nowadays, and it's Sally Rooney, who is also good at making you feel compassion with the main characters and also feel like they're really very recognizable in the way they think and act. And yeah, very modern in that way. And I don't think I've felt this way about that many authors before, where you just imagine a book to be in the same year as you read it without like having you don't have to talk about specific things for it to be relevant. It just feels very relevant to how you experience the world. Sometimes when I talk about books, I feel like I'm myself in another universe, which internet maybe is, sort of. So maybe that's just how it is. But Sally Rooney, I've read 2 of her books now, like them both very much, and I'm like saving conversations with friends a little bit because I don't want to have read it, but I do want to read it. I guess that's relatable as well. Then over to a Norwegian classic, and it's The Birds by Tarjei Vesaas. I spoke about The Ice Palace by the same author in one of my last videos, but this is his masterpiece, and I do recommend everyone to read it. It's a little over 200 easily read pages, and it's about Mattis, who is not like everyone else. He's not on the same level, if you like. He lives together with his sister, and he's in touch with nature in many ways. But he tries to understand people around him, and it's the essence of the book is that you get to experience his feelings, and it's really emotional, I would say. One of my all-time favorite books. So if you're going to read one Norwegian novel, I would suggest this one as a starting point, because it's beautiful. So there's that. I thought I'd end our journey here in Sweden with popular music from Vittula by Mikael Niemi. I think this is his debut novel. I read it like 15 years ago or something like that, so I don't remember all that much, but it's about this small place in Sweden, and you get tales from people and their experiences, and it's really funny and entertaining. It's sort of like Summerlight and Then Comes the Night, only a lot more fun. And as a person that really loves music, this is also right for you if you do the same. It has been translated to English. I forget to say that about a lot of books, but most of the books I talk about here on this channel are probably translated. So there is that. This is my last recommendation for this video, and I hope if you pick some of these up, I hope you like them. And if you have recommendations for shorter novels, please leave them in the comments so everyone can take a look. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!